Welcome to Natural Habitat Adventures Daily Dose of Nature. Turtles, tortoises, and terrapins meet India's chelonians, presented by NatHab expedition leader Arpita Dutta. Thank you so much for being here today, Arpita. I'm going to hand it off to you.
Thank you so much, Kendall. It's been always a pleasure to be here. And thank you everyone who is here today to listen about the Chelonians. So I'm Arpita Dutta. I have been guiding with Natural Habitat Adventures since 2018. And today I'm going to share about the Chelonians. And in a simple, it's about the turtles. So hello there, everyone. They are, who are they? I guess they are the coolest reptiles we are having on this planet. They are from the kingdom animal, and phylum is the Chordata. They are from the class Reptilia. Their suborder is Chelonian and order is Testudines. Though you don't have to remember, just remember the first word, that they are the coolest. And now, why are they the coolest turtle? Coolest reptile, which I say though. So imagine how long the turtle would have lived on this planet. Imagine, with the dinosaurs, like huge animals who were thriving on this planet, rather they were ruling in this planet, and during the Triassic period, almost about 230 million years back, the first specimen which was evolved and which was found, which was in 260 million years back, which is used to known as Eunotosaurus. Look at this Eunotosaurus, they more look like a lizard, but a little fat in the middle. Because in this Eunotosaurus, they have these little flatter ribs. And after that, in 210 million years back, we have the Proganochelys. This Proganochelys has a formation of the beak. Now, all the researchers and scientists were in awe that how come this Proganochelys come from? Because Eunotosaurus doesn't have all those characteristics which this specimen has developed. There was a lot of question, debate, everything was happening that exactly from where this turtle have evolved. And no matter what, we will come to that. But our modern day turtle came around 120 million years ago. So this Eunotosaurus and Proganochelys has a missing link in between. And let me tell you, in a very recent year, that is also in 2018, during August, in the southwestern part of China, we got another fossil, which is the Eurorhynchochelys. This was the missing link between those two. This one, when the scientists found, they got that this evolution has another step to it. This one is almost about 2-meter long animal which lived in the water as well as they could live outside the water. And they are also, this Eurorhynchochelys means dawn-beaked turtle. That means they have persisted that beak. The beak started growing in this missing link. After that, while we talk about turtle, and we think that they are different, especially the formation of their shell, which is very, very different from the other reptiles, or rather I would say from every different mammal, birds, all the species which are living in this world. So when the turtle have evolved, they didn't have these flatter bones. So how did it happen is the fusion, the shell developed through fusion of rib bones and backbones. Imagine your rib bones and backbones are gradually flattening up. And these ribs and the vertebrae grow into the skin layer and connected like the tectonic plates. how they connect together, and they form a solid shell. Kendall, would you mind to play the video once?
Absolutely. So I'm going to bring up the video player, and just a reminder for those watching, it may open in a separate window, or if you're on a mobile device, you may need to swipe. This video does not have audio, so you will not be hearing anything. And it's about 49 seconds. All right, very cool. Arpita, I am going to hand control back over to you.
Yes. Fine. So, isn't that cool? I mean, how they have formed. The evolution has taken so far, and the modern day turtles are so much special. I think because of so many evolutionary stage they have crossed. So, when we talk about turtle, of course there are different body parts, but this is the two main thing: is the carapace. The dorsal side of the body is the carapace bone, and the ventral part of the bone is called the plastron, because there are variation in this. And today we are going to talk about the freshwater turtles and tortoises. You know what? There are so many organizations and people are very much aware of the marine turtles. There are only 7 species of marine turtles, and almost all are endangered and critically endangered. And a lot of conservation work is focused on them. They have many godfathers to take care of them. But by doing this, most of the time we neglect the lesser faunas. And here, that's the reason why I have only placed the freshwater turtles and the tortoise. So when we talk about turtle and tortoise, so turtle, it's related with water, and tortoise are land dwellers. Turtles have paddle-like limbs, and the tortoise is more like an elephant-like legs, because they need to move in a very undulating terrain. And turtles are omnivores. Tortoises are vegetarian. And turtles, of course, it's a reptile, but it lives a very amphibious life, that they live their life partly in water and partly on land. And tortoises, of course, on land, but they do go close to the water if they need to drink. Otherwise, the kind of vegetation they feeds on, they get the moisture, or they get hydrated by those. After this, we have another split from the turtles. So there are 2 types. One is the soft shell turtle, and another one is the hard shell turtle. Soft shell turtle skin, the bone is covered with a leathery skin. It's like a gelatinous kind of material. And for hard shell, it's a bony cover. But the other features are almost same. Then we have the terrapins. Look at this beautiful, vibrant terrapin. These terrapins are also like the turtles. They have every features of a turtle, but only thing it's like only the naming part is different. They live in marshes, and we would say that they live in brackish water too. They can survive in brackish water as well. So that's why they are little different, and they are terrapins. After that, let me tell you that though we are going to talk about the Indian Chelonians, But let me tell you that India, I mean, the distribution of freshwater turtle species, India stands with 30% of the world turtle diversity, I mean, world population. So they have 42 taxes, and the highest goes to America. They are like highest in number. They are the first with so many varieties of turtle species out there, the freshwater turtles as well as the marine turtle. So there are almost 354 total species of turtles and tortoises, and out of that only 7 are marine. So here I will be talking about the 29 species of freshwater turtles in India, but there are 42 living taxas. That means there are subspecies of these turtles as well. First, let me tell you, if on the left-hand side bottom, that's the map of India. So turtles almost live everywhere, even not in India, in the world, in whole world, only in the colder, except the polar region. So in India, the highest density of population of turtles, which is also called the turtle diversity hotspot, it is the Gangetic Plain and the northeastern part of India. Imagine out of 29 species, we have 23 species in this area only. So first, we see few of the species. This is the elongated tortoise. So it's a forest dwelling tortoise, and you can see it's a very, of course, turtles are cool, and it has a beautiful color, very well camouflaged with the dead leaves and stuff, and they keep on moving through the forest floors. So you never know when you do come across in this kind of areas. Or let me tell you something, the NatHub trips where we do is one of another turtle biodiversity hotspot area where we get to see around 21 species of turtles. That is in Kaziranga National Park. So you never know, you might come across this kind of species. So here, and this is a Travancore tortoise, which is found in the southern part of India, and nowhere, no other parts. Distribution is not there in any other part of India. It looks very close to the elongated tortoise, but they are different. Then we have these beautiful star tortoise. Look at this. Look at the carapace. It's so well, it seems like a printed machine has just kept printing on its back. And let me tell you, this is one of the very one of the trafficked animal for pet trade. They are even transport outside for as an exotic species as well. This tortoise is also found in the central and the southern part of India. And this is one of the largest tortoise we have here is the Asian brown tortoise. And I love them. Look at this huge rugged body. When I talk about bigger herbivores like rhino, gaur, elephant, I find them, they are so big, stout. This tortoise give me the same impression, and trust me, they're so vocal. When there are other tortoises in their area, they keep on nodding their head and they kind of communicate very vocally, like a kind of a sound, especially during mating. That's outstanding. And then comes, this is a new discovery in 2019, actually. It got discovered in India. There are, of course, its distribution is there in the other part of the world, but in the Southeast Asia. But in India, it's a new discovery. This is an impressed tortoise. It's much smaller than the Asian brown tortoise, but they are so pretty. And you know how the name has been given? Because when I heard about the name, I said, oh my God, the turtle which can impress you so much that the name has been given impressed tortoise. But then I found that because there is an impression, or you can say the depression of the carapace it has, for which it got its name. But seriously, I guess even if people are talking about that it can impress you, it's not very wrong. The tortoise can really impress you with its beauty. And now we come to the softshell turtle. They are huge. I mean, this is the black softshell turtle, and they can grow up to 80 kilos as well. Imagine. And they are very vulnerable, but we dare to keep our finger or hand close to them because a small nibble can actually take off your finger. So this turtle has a big story. I'll definitely share with you all. And this is a peacock softshell. So these all turtles are also found in the northeastern side of India. And then we come the Gangetic softshell. They are definitely pretty, and these Gangetic softshell are found almost in this whole region. And trust me, where there are crocodiles, even this turtle species are found in Nepal as well. And these fellows are daredevil kind of. They can bask besides a gharial or a mugger, just like that. Then it comes to our narrow-headed softshell turtle. You can know that why is it called narrow-headed? The body is huge, but look at the face. I mean, of course, the neck, they can extend their neck, but the face is very small, and that's why it got its name. And it has a beautiful marking on its back. Then we come to the Asian giant softshell. You can get by the name. It's a giant softshell, of course. And then we have the Asiatic softshell. And though these softshells look very similar to each other, but their behavior is very different. You can distinguish by the behaviors, that what they are doing, how they are feeding, their time of time of laying the egg, their gestation period, their number of eggs. It varies a lot. Then we have the Lithius softshell turtle. Look at this beauty. I mean, it's beautiful. Look at this beautiful ring on its carapace, on this leathery carapace, and the beautiful patch of color on its head. Isn't that pretty? I mean, how can you take off your eyes from this kind of species? And then we have the flap shell, or the Indian flap shell. Now, do you recognize that there is a soft shell I'm talking about? This is also a soft shell, but we are calling it as a flap shell. This is the only turtle species we find in India which has a flap on its plastron. That means it has a leathery plastron, but its legs and limbs can completely get inside, and there is a flap like a door. When it gets inside, the flap closes, and that's how it got its name. And this is also one of the most trafficked turtle we have here. I mean, it goes in different parts of the world as well, especially in the Southeast Asia. So after that, we are coming to the hard shell turtle. Look at the beautiful striking color and the stripes. So this is the Indian roof turtle. Why is it roofed? Look at this shell, and it has a roof-like structure, and that's how it got its name. It is one of the widespread turtle we find here, and mostly in the forest, even in central India, where we do our trips, and in Kaziranga, of course, and Northeast. If you, especially in the winter season, on the log, on marshy areas, or on the bank of the river, you might come across these turtles are basking. I will tell you how they bask once I finish the species here. And this is an Indian tent turtle. For the same thing, it looks like a tent. The shell, the carapace is more look like a tent. That's how it got its name. Here comes the brown-roofed turtle. Yeah, it has a roof, but it is little tapered shell. It's not like the Indian roofed or the tent turtle. Then we have one of the prettiest, I would say, in this hard shell, is the Assam roof turtle, which you are very likely to see in Kaziranga National Park. Because this is only found over there and in different parts of northeastern side of India, but very few. Only a good population is there in Kaziranga National Park. And look at this beautiful orange color mark just below the eye. It's like a Nike sign, the Nike brand sign. So they can actually make this turtle their brand ambassador. Okay, so next we go to the Indian black turtle. Of course, they are the forest dwelling turtles. You will find them in the marshy land or the wetlands or little flowing rivers, but they love to be in the forest patches. I mean, there should be good vegetation around. Then you have the Tricarinate heel turtle. So this is a species which you find more in northeastern side of India as well as in Nepal. So when we do the Chitwa National Park trip, we get to see this fellow quite often. And Tricarinate heel turtle it has this three lines on its carapace, and that's how it has its name. And this is also a forest dwelling turtle. So you will find it on the forest floors, and while basking, it can be on the ground or on a log in close to water. Of course, they need to stay there, because any predator can come across, though it is very difficult for any predator to suddenly get hold of a turtle or tortoise because of their protection. Next, we have this beautiful black spotted pond turtle. Again, a very good chance to see this turtle in our Kaziranga trip, because it thrives in the water puddles, in the river system, where there is slow moving water, and then there should be a forest patch or the grassland area. You can come across this turtle. They can grow really big, considering a hard shell turtle, and of course they are very pretty. And then we have this crowned river turtle. Imagine you are seeing something so vibrant. Your eyes will definitely stuck to it. Beautiful yellow color, and they are crowned because they have a beautiful marking on their head, starting from the eye level to above the nostril and finishing on the other side of the eye. So that's how it's beautiful. I mean, just see it. I mean, while telling you about the turtles, I'm sometimes getting lost in the life of the turtles. So here is the Indian eye turtle. It's because of its carapace, the pattern it has. That's how it got its name. But it's rare. It's difficult to come across the turtle quite often. Here is another one of the prettiest turtle we have in India, is the Cochin forest cane turtle. And not only that pretty, or you can say stunning, it's also an endemic species which is found in India, but only in the southern part of India, nowhere else. It's really a bad, it's really not good for us, because we want to see turtles all around, all the turtles all around. But yeah, there is a specific location for this turtle where you get to see them, and that is also not a regular sighting. You need to really work hard to get hold of this turtle. And here is our Southeast Asian box turtle. Now, this is a different kind of a turtle. So it's, of course, it's not by its beauty only, but also it's a box turtle. Why a box? I mean, if you talk about a turtle shell, it's almost like a box, but it has a distinct feature. That is, its plastron has a hinge in between. So when they need to tuck their head inside, the hinge actually closes the whole thing. That means when in other hardshell turtle, even if they tuck their head inside and limbs inside, you will be able to see. I mean, you can see that their nostrils and little eye are visible. But in case of this turtle, uh, they are like a box. They are completely shielded. I mean, their muscle, their body is shielded in around this huge box-like thing. Then comes the keeled box turtle. So the box turtle is almost same. The keeled is the shell, how the shell is. That's why it's called its name, the keeled box turtle. Interestingly, this turtle is more forest-dwelling turtle, and their hatchlings are very vibrant in color. You know what? You look at this turtle, they look like the dried leaves in the forest, and they are more flattened. So it's very easy for them to get well camouflaged in the forest floor. And this is how it looks like. This is a female. Um, um, it has a beautiful, I mean, look at the eye. It's a marble, and also the black border in between. I don't know how they got, I mean, how they created, I mean, how they evolved in such a beautiful patterns. And then we have the red crowned river turtle. I mean, imagine a turtle with that vibrant color, and the male grows this color during breeding time. Trust me, I mean, I'm not a turtle, but I can fall for a male which is so colorful and so vibrant. So during breeding time, they become gorgeous. All the colors are become striking, and they plead in front of the female to mate with them. No matter in the animal world, no matter how the male looks like, they look stunning, they definitely need to bow down in front of the female during the mating time, during their breeding season. That's really funny. Then we have the three-striped roof turtle, and this is also, I mean, found in those in the same area where I showed the patch earlier. And they are getting, actually they are in the like in the endangered and critically endangered list that I will come across, I mean, come over later. And then we have this striking northern river terrapin. Now we know what terrapin is, and this one is the Latin name is Batagor basca. This Batagor basca is among the top 5 rarest turtle in the world. And you know what? This is so rare that it is considered as functionally extinct from the wild. But it has a wonderful conservation story. I will come to that. Because I think this could be an example for a lot of conservation work, that how this species had a good comeback from the verge of extinction, like complete extinction. So then we have, okay, so here we come with our story of this. So out of this 29 species, these 7 are your critically endangered, and the other are endangered and near threatened species. So it's no other species, I mean, not any other species are there which we can see, we can, you know, sit back and relax that, okay, we can see some species all around us. But this 7 ones, which is the narrow-headed softshell turtle, which is Chitra Indica, this one, and sorry, So this species, especially in India or in Southeast Asia, there are a lot of reason for which we are losing these turtle species, and that happens because these are river dwelling turtles. So imagine in the river there are fishing, there are people all around. Of course, pollution is a big thing because all these animals, all these creatures, freshwater creatures, are very susceptible to any kind of pollution they are facing. Then we have the red-crowned river turtle. It is also like there we are trying with the breeding project to bring back the population. And the street striped root turtle, they are facing the same thing. The reasons are same. And then we have the crowned river turtle, for which this Hadilathoji, they are also facing the same thing because of the river and too much like people are getting into their habitat and they are losing it. That is the, I think, the main reason behind it. And then we have the Asian brown tortoise, and at the bottom the northern river terrapin. Now I would like to talk about this northern river terrapin specially because you know what, few years back there were only 50 individuals were left globally, only 50. I mean, how much time do we need, I mean, to lose this species from that, from, I mean, from where they were in thousand, they were abundant in number, but then they suddenly collapsed. And from their 50, there is an organization called Turtle Survival Alliance. And this Turtle Survival Alliance, in short, called TSA, is the largest and most comprehensive tortoises and freshwater turtle conservation organization in the world. So their motto is to bring back the critically endangered species and the threatened species, to bring back the population in the wild. And they have been doing a great work. So for this Batagor Baska, TSA pitched in, and from there their conservation story started. A lots of awareness program and process had been started with the forest department of the West Bengal, which is the eastern part of India, where you can see the map here, the turtle here, where this is a delta area in India. So over here, there are mangrove forest, and this is one of the rarest dweller in the mangrove. And this species have been like killed, or they got entangled in the fishing net for meat consumption. Imagine. And from there, the story has begun is when TSA first arrived here. The person who actually is behind this whole conservation thing is Dr. Shailendra Singh. So he found that there are few species are there in the turtle in a pond, which is inside the forest camp. And from there he recognized the species, and from there he selected few of the adults and then given them a chance to breed. And after a long year of work, now they have almost 250 individuals with them. Now the process is on the way to give them the satellite transmitter and to release them back into the wild, and to see that how they are performing. I mean, and just getting all the data that where they are going, whatnot, so that we can proceed further for its conservation work. So it's I think it's Northern River Terrapin work, or you can also search for this Northern River Terrapin videos in YouTube as well. So you will get a proper story and the whole scenario behind. I mean, imagine this was even endangered than I mean, it was in a bad shape, even if I consider the marine turtles. So after this, why we are facing this extinction, or the number is decreasing day by day. So over here we have some markets where the turtle meats are consumed. I mean, people buy turtle for the meat and they consume turtle eggs. So imagine, already they are losing their habitat, they don't have place to survive, and from there they are trying to thrive. And if the people around there is collecting all the eggs and then gathering all these, especially the soft shell turtles, for meat consumption, how much are we going to get? I mean, this, whenever we see something, we survey market, we only see the tip of the iceberg, because most of the time we cannot reach out to the areas where things are happening, because people are still unaware of the current scenario. And then we have this pet trade. I mean, there are so many turtle and tortoises have been transferred from or trafficked from different parts of India to different parts of the world, as we call it an exotic species, but they are we are losing the species from their native places. Then we have overfishing. In India, most of the places people are fond of fish and river fish, of course, and overfishing also causes a lot of damage. It's not only that overfishing means turtle won't have their food. It's not that. What these fishermen do is they leave the net whole night, like they keep it at night, and in the early morning they come and collect it. Sometimes they keep it for more than 24 hours. And what happens is, because it's not visible clearly under the murky water, the turtles get entangled in the net. And once they get entangled, they need to come up, because they are lung breather. They need to come up to breathe air, and they suffocate and they die. So that's how also we are losing a lot of species, a lot of turtle who are thriving in those kind of rivers where human are also like dependent on those rivers. And then we have another thing in northeastern part of India is the donation of turtles. People believe, there is a superstition, you say, there is a belief that if you donate a turtle in the Shiva temple, then you get prosperity. So imagine in those kind of areas, if they find a turtle in the wild, because during monsoon or during winter, when the turtle come out for basking, or they try to go somewhere else for nesting, for mating, or for to feed, these people, if they get a turtle, they do not leave them alone. They just pick them up and bring it and just put it into the temple pond, thinking that they are going to get whatever they are wishing by donating the turtle. But actually what is happening, this temple pond, in this temple ponds, this is a big pond, there are many species of turtles are thriving together. But they don't they I mean, once they are inside the pond, they are losing all the chances of surviving. They cannot breed, they cannot go outside of it, and of course the pollution level go much higher, and the people feed them different stuffs. I mean, like biscuits, the breads, the soya chunks, which is not the staple food for the turtle. So some diseases also gets into them. So this is another thing which is happening. I mean, this is all about the scenario, and of course there is another important thing is the habitat loss. There were patch of foresters, like small pockets maybe, or but due to increase in population, human are taking over those land for agriculture and for fisheries. So imagine where the turtle used to go inside the forest patch, they used to dig the mud and lay their egg and just cover it with the vegetation. They are not finding it, because in agricultural land you don't get all this thing. Another thing, due to this agriculture, if they are using pesticides, which is really harmful for the freshwater turtles, because all the water and everything is draining out to the water puddles, wetlands and rivers where this turtle species are surviving. So how we are getting so, I mean, we people are getting them, making their path so difficult for surviving. Okay, then when we talk about the pet trade, let me bring one species which is actually from America, from Central America. So this is a red-eared slider. This is a native species of America, but they are now one of the topmost turtle species you will find all around the world. This turtle travel from one place to another in for pet trade. So, and this turtle is also called the ninja turtle. I hope we are very much, we know that which are the ninja, the fighter, the fighting turtle. Why? Because they can thrive in any kind of habitat, in anywhere, and they are voracious eater. Imagine if I take this one, and if I take an example of the Florida case for the Burmese python, that people bring Burmese python as an exotic pet, and when they start growing big, they leave it in the forest nearby in Florida, and it has become an invasive species in at that part of the area because they really don't have any natural predator. The same goes with the red-eared slider. People bring them when they are small because they look very colorful, very nice, very cute, and people love them to put them in their aquarium, feed them, and see what they are doing. But once they start growing up, they can grow almost 1 foot, and when they grow big, they become dull, heavy, and it's difficult to keep on feeding this turtle. So what people do is they release them into any water body around them, and this species actually killing the native species, because if it is a voracious eater, and they can breed, that is another thing, and it we are losing the native species because of this. This is a scenario of India. I'm talking about India, but it's almost everywhere we are facing. Let me take you back to a story in 2010. What has happened is we got to seize around near about 11,000 turtle hatchlings. I mean, even there, this the tooth, the egg tooth, the egg tooth by which they actually break the eggshell, those were not fallen off. That means they have just hatched, and they have been seized at the Calcutta airport. And imagine 11,000 turtle. What we are supposed to do with so many turtles? So because they were coming from China, and so we had to coordinate with them. So of course they are not taking it back. We had to call to the American authority for them. They are also not taking it back because there is so huge in number. So somewhere we had to distribute these turtles in different zoo, but really it is really difficult. Imagine so many little ones and how they have been trafficked. It's really awful. I mean, it is really difficult to see. Even this news was in CNN, so if you want to check the whole news, you can go and search about 2010 Calcutta airport confiscated near about 11,000 red-eared slider turtles. So you will get a view of the whole thing. And then what India is doing for conservation. Here again, TSA is doing a huge work for the conservation of turtles. So we are doing education outreach programs because, as I said, that people are unaware of the current scenario. They are not really getting into it, that what is happening to the species. So that's the reason why there are outreach. So all the related areas where the density of turtles are present, we have like selecting schools from there and going into the schools, making the children aware of it, because they are our future hope. And then research monitoring, that how the turtle, if you come to the right hand side, the second picture, you see a track, that's a turtle track. So this is how the monitoring happens, that where the turtle have gone out from the water and where they have laid the eggs. And once you find the nest, then you go above a picture, that's how the hatchery has been done, the artificial hatchery near the river site only. And from there we keep on monitoring, and once the hatchlings are out, they have been released back to the wild. And that is what the captive breeding is. And of course the habitat protection and reintroduction. So once the hatchlings are out, then you are reintroducing the turtles, hatchlings, into that area from where the eggs have been picked up for the incubation and for the captive breeding. And then we have the rescue and rehabilitation. Rescue and rehabilitation doesn't mean that only we are rescuing turtles from somewhere, but it also includes the seizures. Like all the trafficking turtles the confiscated turtles have been kept in the quarantine zone, and they have been diagnosed whether they have any diseases or not. If not, if they are fine, after the quarantine period is over, they have been released back to their specific distribution all around India, wherever they are. And also TSA is handing over things to the local people because they are the strength. So suppose the fishermen who are fishing, they are earning from fishing, so you cannot ask them to stop. So providing an alternative livelihood to those people is actually minimizing the dependency on those rivers for their to sustain their life. And then we have after this India's thing, let me tell you that in Northern America, there are near about 159 species, and in South America, there are 60 species of turtles. And this is how it looks like. I mean, look at the colors, patterns, the types, there are all everywhere. This is a huge in number. And these are the places where you get to where you come across most of the highest turtle density highest turtle density population. And from there, so Chase has been working with a lot of like 20 of the world's topmost endangered turtle species over there around the world. And out of all the species, all the programs have been successful till date. And being over there, I mean, if I believe that a lot of people who all of you are here are over there, you never know, maybe in your backyard or around you, there are a lot of turtle species who all needs a little more attention for this whole for their survival. So turtles are in trouble. They are really in trouble. And over 50% of the turtle and tortoises are facing extinction risk. And imagine when I talk about this, I only think that species which have been evolved almost 260 million years, I mean, near about 260 million years back, from there they have started. We could not even, the modern human have come only 100,000 years back. And because of us, there is so many things happening in their world, not only in the turtle world, but I think in all other species world as well. So the greatest extinction risk of any order of vertebrates they are facing. I mean, around all the other species, they are the one of the top most who are facing the risk of this extinction. The 72 species out of that 354 species are critically endangered. Imagine, you never know when we might lose these turtles, and 55 species are endangered. 66 species are vulnerable. So in total, species which are facing this threat is your I mean around 187. So these, and now staying at your place, how can you help? Like, we love turtles because they are special. We do understand that. We do keep turtles. We love to be with them. We love to see them all around us. But when we talk about conservation, I think everybody can play a role in the field of conservation. So what you can do staying up there, whichever species is close or nearby you, what you can do for them is the awareness, like how they can be treated, or how you can participate in conservation works. You can volunteer. You can definitely get in touch with Turtle Survival Alliance, because the main office is in South Carolina. So over then, and they are distributed all over. So you can get connected with them, because you can do a lot of voluntary work. It's not only about the donation that you just send money and stuff, but you can physically be there and get involved into this whole conservation level. And then you have Turtle Conservatory is there, and the IUCN, like Tortoise and the Freshwater Turtles and Tortoise Specialist Group is there. You can get contact with them. And there is another person called Jordan Gray, who is from Turtle Survival Alliance, and you can get all kind of help and knowledge, whatever is happening around that part on the western side, western part of the world, to get more to get more knowledge or more access to do something for the turtles. And not only that, there is a funny thing TSA does is drink beer and save turtles. I think that can be another coolest way to save the turtles, to think about turtle conservation. I mean, you can have beer with your friends, you can have fun, and that amount is going for the turtle conservation. Isn't that cool? I find it very cool, though it is very difficult in India to think conservation in that level, but it's really, really interesting and very, very fun to do. And so next is me holding a turtle. This is a flapshell turtle, and this is our NatHub trip in central India. And thank you so much for listening, and it's wonderful. I am ready to take up questions from all of you. Kendall?
I'm here. Thank you so much, Arpita. That was great. I know that was such a big topic, but you presented it so well. Thank you. I just want to remind the audience, if you have a question today, you can submit that in your control panel under the questions field. Okay, there were some people wondering about the size of these turtles, and someone asked the question, in general, how heavy are the tortoises' shells? What percentage of their total weight is shell?
Okay, so considering, if I talk about the Indian species, suppose for the tortoises, if I take the Asian brown tortoise, which is really big, it can be of 3 to 4 kilos, I mean, only if I talk about the shell. Or they want to ask about the whole turtle weight, I mean, whole tortoise weight.
Yeah, they were just curious as to, in relation to their total weight, how much of that is the shell?
Okay, then it would be around 3 to 4 kilos.
That's quite a bit. All right. So a couple questions about softshell turtles. One person was wondering if, because their shells are soft, if they're more vulnerable to predation.
Yes, they are, and that's the reason why I think they are the most predation is done by the human only for the consumption of the meat and stuff. But yes, soft shell turtles are more vulnerable. But because they are soft shell, they mostly spend their time in water. They don't just come out for, just like the hard shell turtle, they don't come out for such a long time to bath. They stay close to the water. So only the water, like for the hatchlings especially, are vulnerable to big fish and even to other turtles, birds, for other reptiles, and of course human. They are vulnerable. Yes.
Hmm. So someone was wondering how big the giant softshell turtle is, and maybe you could give us length and weight.
Okay. I'm sorry. Exact weight I won't be able to say. But it can, it can grow up to a meter.
Wow, that's enormous.
Near about
Okay,
a meter, yeah. But
yeah,
weight,
yeah.
I'm not aware of.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That gives us a great idea of how big it is. Okay, so the flap turtle, someone's wondering if the flap is different from a hinge on a box turtle.
Yes, that is absolutely different, because box turtle is the bony plastron. It's like a door, which traps when they retract their head and limbs. But for a flap shell, it's a skin. It's the muscle which actually closes.
Okay.
That both are very different. It's only the limbs part is closed. There is a flap. There is a leaf-like structure. I should have given the picture. There is a leaf-like structure near the limb. When the limbs retracts, those flaps closes. So that's why it's a flap shell. So it cannot bend from the middle, which a box turtle can.
All right. So someone was
Yeah.
wondering if you could tell us again about any differences in what turtles eat as to whether they live in the water or on land. Are there differences?
About the turtles.
Yes.
So turtles are omnivores. They do scavenge as well. They keep the water body very clean, because, and it has been proved that where there are freshwater turtles, the pollution or the pollutant which are caused in the water body are pretty less than the area where there are no turtles. So they are amazing scavengers, keep the ecosystem clean. They feeds on vegetation as well, but prefers to be like fishing or meat eating animal. And for the soft shell turtle, they eat when they are juvenile. For the high amount of protein they require, they mostly feeds on all the fish, tadpoles, snails, all these things. But when they gradually grow big, they can feed on almost everything.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Okay, so last question I'll take today, since we're past the top of the hour. Which of these turtles that you talked about today is your favorite?
Um, so difficult. It's like choosing among your own children that who is your favorite. But I think I really like the all northeastern part turtles. All are favorite. Even in our NatHub trip, Kendall, when I saw turtle, sighted turtle over there, the guests have started telling me, "Oh God, it seems like you have seen your own child." I'm like, yeah, it's almost like that. It's they all are very pretty. They all are very pretty. But let me tell you, that is in my bucket list. One is your alligator snapping turtle, which is there in America, and there is another turtle in America which is the diamond-backed terrapin. Those are like diamond-backed terrapin is so pretty that I really would love to see it.
Oh, well, I hope you do. You'll have to come over very soon.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
someday.
Thank you so much, Arpita. This was wonderful. Again, I know you covered so much information in such a short amount of time, so I really appreciate your time today. And for those watching, if you're interested in getting in touch with Jordan, who Arpita mentioned earlier at the Turtle Survival Alliance, I will include his name and email address in the replay notification email that we'll send out later this evening. All right, Arpita, back to you for closing comments.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. It's been really a pleasure to share your love with others, and thank you for your patience to listen to that. Whenever, I mean, it's beautiful. And if you have any questions, if any question arises later, you can definitely mail it to NatHab. And if the question come back to me, I will definitely answer those questions. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Kendall, for hosting. You have been a wonderful person all throughout.
Oh, thank you, Arpita. You too. My thanks as well to everyone who tuned in today. Please join us tomorrow for our next Daily Dose of Nature. You can check out this week's lineup, including registration links, on our website at nathab.com/webinars. We did record today's presentation, and we'll have the replay available on our website soon. And with that, I'll conclude the webinar. Goodbye, everybody. Good night, Arpita.
Good night.